Hello and welcome to ArtSee. This is the second video in our instructional or explanational videos about the application. ArtSee is an opt-in image viewer for Facebook, and in the previous episode we discussed the About pages. This time we're going to discuss the operations pages, the nitty-gritty of the application. You notice that the like button here is checked, and that's because I had liked the page and I was logged in. If I refresh the page, you see the like button's changed because I'm no longer logged in and it can't tell whether or not I've liked the application. So let's see about doing an upload. It's a good thing to do. And the first thing it does is it tells you about the particulars of the image and the size limitations. It has to be a JPEG. We take the EXIF data out. We check to see if it's a JPEG, stuff like that. And let's see, it says it wants me to log in with Facebook. Oh look, it knows that I'm not logged in. It's going to give me an opportunity to do that, and in fact, after I've logged in, it takes me to the page to do an actual image upload. Now, one of the things that we wanted to do here was to ensure that ArtSee was used to share content. We didn't want to have ArtSee used as an online storage repository. So if you upload an image to ArtSee, it is not going to keep that image or store that image if you don't share it at least one time. Now, obviously, that could be defeated by somebody deleting the share, but that's less problematic. So let's choose a file here. And how about that one right there? That looks like a good file to choose. It's a good old JPEG. And we could check this box and get a verbose report about the file, the size, so on and so forth. But for our purposes right now, let's just tell it we want to upload the image, and said it uploaded it successfully and everything was fine. Now, as I said, you must share the uploaded image to Facebook at least once to save it in the ArtSee application. Well, let's don't do that. It says it didn't share the image, and I have this little side application here that I wrote to kind of keep track of this stuff, and that ID, that user ID, is me, and it says there aren't any content there, but let's refresh it, and you can see that there still isn't any content there, and the reason is because we didn't credit that upload. But let's go back, and this time let's do an upload. We've already logged in with Facebook. We didn't log out of Facebook, we just logged out of the opportunity to share the image. And let's choose a file again. And just for the sake of the discussion, let's choose the same file. And this time, let's check the verbose and see what difference we get. And look, it tells us about the size of the file and so on and so forth. This time, let's share it. Okay, hey, look. Facebook has given me a share dialog. And notice here that what Facebook is offering to share is not a picture of that newt. Instead, it's sharing this notice that gives a person the opportunity to determine for themselves whether or not they want to see that content. So let's name this newt 1 so we can keep track of these and tell it to post it. Look, after a period of time it comes back and it says that my share dialog completed successfully and that I can share the image again, or I can just log out. Let's log out. I don't really have anybody else I want to love with these images. So let's upload another image just for the fun of it now. And let's choose a file. Now, one thing about these files is that we check things. So let's pick this one just for the sake of discussion and tell it we're going to upload that bad boy, and said it had invalid file name characters. Didn't like that. Well, as I said, we scan for that kind of stuff. Now, there's some other things that we look at too. This, for example, good looking little salamander. It's too small. So what we have to do is choose the images that fit within the parameters that we've specified. So let's just upload this little image, and there it is. Let's share that one. And we're going to call this one, interesting names here, Newt 2. All right, good name. Share that. And once we've shared it, that's good. You notice I can log out of Facebook as well as logging out of the image operations menu. But for now, let's go back to the page and upload one more image. You notice that the like button went back to the checked version. You see that when I go back. Because, see, now I'm logged in, and the ArtSee application knows that I have liked the page. Cute. That's Facebook's doing. And this one looks good. Let's put up an orange salamander. And just for the sake of discussion, let's see what it's, look. All kind of interesting stuff. So we'll share this one. And just for the sake of discussion and interest, we're going to call this one Newt 3. That sounds like a good name. And again, you notice it put up the same dialog box, the same warning notice. It does not put up the original image. So if it were a Newt drawing instead of a Newt photograph, it could be shared without the potential of offending someone who didn't want to see that kind of thing unexpectedly, or who didn't want to see it at all. So we've shared it. It says I can share it again, or I can log out. Let's log out of the applications menu and see where we are. I got an idea. Let's go to Facebook. And let's go to my home page, because see, it only shows one share, the last one, on the top of my feed. But if I go to my home page, all the shares are there. And remember the order we put these things up? Well, let's click this one and see what we get. Hey, look, there's that image. And I still like that eye candy, so I've got a little bit of logo floating around. I guess that could be an advertisement for somebody. So if we click on this, you can see that it's been viewed one time. Well, in fact, this time. But let's exit this and go back here and see about some of these others. That was the first one. Let's look at this one. Hey, that's the same picture we had. You know, same thing. It's been viewed one time. And meanwhile, if we go back here and look at my data, you see there were 3 images, and so far there are 3 posts and 2 views. That's keeping pretty good track of what's going on. One thing is that you notice it opens up a tab for every one of these things, but that's the nature of Facebook. Let's go back to my home page. Now we've looked at the first 2 images. Let's look at this last image here. And there's our cute little orange salamander with a real long file name. And that one's been viewed one time. And if I exit that, then what I could do is I could look at my data, and I can see that I've had 3 views. That's interesting to me. Let's go back here to the ArtSee home page, and let's look at another set of dialogues. Let's look at the delete images dialogues. Again, it wants me to log in with Facebook, and you see the like button is checked because I'm already logged in, but it wants to be sure. Gives me an opportunity here to do 2 things, or one of 2 things. I could check this box, or I could check this box, but you notice I can't check both boxes. One box says that I want to delete some of my content, warns me that I can't undo that. And the other box says I want to delete everything. But let's just delete some of them and enter the content manager, see what we get. Hey, look, there's our salamander. And we could go to the next one, or the next one, and then of course it wraps around. And we could go to the other way, and you notice it keeps an index up here of the particular image, the count in the collection of them. And it's still only been viewed one time because we're not viewing it, we're making decisions about it. But this is the third one, and let's just tag it and see what we get. Hey, well, you can see that image was tagged. And now, for the sake of the discussion, you notice that the image scales and keeps its aspect ratio so that it just fits within the viewport window. And that's done with some JavaScript math. It was fun. Okay, so let's tell it we want to delete this image. Oh, look, it says one image was selected. It did it, and now it's going back home. So if I look at my data here, it's a cute little app that helps me see what's going on while I'm doing this. Look. Still got my 3 views, but that's because those views are my views, not each image view. And I only got 2 posts. So that's what we expected. And in fact, now let's go to one or the other of these Facebook tabs. And goodness gracious, was that the 3rd image? I think it was. Let's click this and see. The specified image may have been deleted. Well, so it was. Okay, so you can see what happens there. Now, let's do something else. You notice that I still got these other shares up here, and I'm gonna certainly want to delete this one because it's worthless now. The image is gone. And I could upload the image again, but there's no way to recover that data or the information that was in the database about it. That's gone. We don't surreptitiously keep info on people. But let's go back to the home page here. Once again, let's go look at the delete images menu. And always it wants me to log in with Facebook because it's the idea of the app. It's a Facebook app. And this time let's check this, the box that we want to delete all of our uploaded image content. Tell it we want to enter the content manager, and look, it tells me that I need to click this to confirm that that's what I want to do, and I did, and it said that the 2 images that remained were deleted, and it returned to ArtSee. And now, if I look at my data, look, I don't have nothing. I am gone. I mean, I am not even there. And the reason is because if I don't have any images, there's no reason for ArtSee to keep data about me. Okay, well, that's the basic gist of the operation. It seemed to me to be pretty easy to follow. I hope you enjoyed that. There's one other entry point that we have, and I'm not going to demonstrate it, but it is an option that Facebook requires all applications to provide, and that is an entry point to allow a user to delete their account or personal information and their data. And that interface or dialogue takes you immediately to the confirm your deletion. It doesn't waste any of your time with the intermediate stuff. Just you want to get off of here? Okay, no problem. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed that. I do plan to put up a 3rd video which will talk about how the Facebook application was constructed. In other words, we'll go to the Facebook applications page, the developer page, and we'll see what information had to be provided for the ArtSee app to function. And then we'll also look at some of the web content. Thanks for your attention.